work our way this way, and then we'll end up with Lisa, who will be presenting today. So go ahead.
Michael Claythorpe, freelance calculator.
Emily Van Ziel, Tech Systems.
I'm Joe Nagel, marketer and ranking.
Greg Kohler, Commander Truck.
Peter Clay, here at WLNS.
Chaz Furlow, full-time Dale Agency.
Adrian Moulton, I'm with Recruitment Management Consultants.
Nick Nada, Financial.
Nick Topper, Purpose Technologies.
I'm not Nick. I'm Andrea. I'm Andrea Funk from Too Cool T-Shirt Quilts. We take our customers' T-shirts and make them into quilts.
My name is Emily Brunswick, and I'm a designer with Michigan State as well as
I'm Skylar, and I am a web developer at M3 Group.
Nathan Pesh, and my wife and I have started a daycare. So, I'm Kerry Williams. I'm from Capital National Bank. I'm the director of small business lending.
I'm Kelsey Stolz, and I am with InVerve Marketing. I'm an inbound marketing consultant and digital media specialist.
Thank you. So I will let Lisa Smith from InVerve Marketing. Oh, sorry.
Dana with 3 Point Consulting. Hidden back here.
You go, Dana.
And all right, so I'll let Lisa take it away. Go ahead, Lisa.
Great, thank you so much. It's just wonderful to be here. What an impressive group of people. So we're going to talk today about, is your content a cluster blank? Maybe it should be. And, you know, it's funny because the Small Business Association of Michigan reached out and said, hey, do you have any marketing presentations? We've got a slot in March. And so I said, sure. And I had this presentation. This is, you know, I kind of give the same ones over and over again and update them. And I said, it's got kind of a provocative name. Maybe we should go with, here's an you know, alternative. And I think it was how Google RankBrain changed the way content marketing is optimized. And they said, no, we want that one. So the rest of the title is actually, is your content a cluster topic? Maybe it should be, but nobody thinks that that's really interesting. So we went with the other one. I just wanted to also mention here, Kelsey, if we do Q&A and we've got really deep technical questions, she might be a really good sidekick to help me answer questions. She's been with us since not last year, but the year before, and had managed digital assets for 4 USA Today markets. She's been a sports journalist and is just a really smart, great member of our team. My goal is always to hire people smarter than me, and in my case, it's not that hard to do, but I got really lucky with Kelsey. So methodology. At InVerve, we practice inbound marketing. And inbound is a digital methodology that uses digital assets to build your business. Attract, can you see this? Attract, convert, close, and delight are the goals that we attain as we move people through the sales funnel. And then the people move through, they start out as strangers. Where is it? Strangers. Those strangers are attracted, they become visitors, they're converted, they become leads, they become a customer, and once we close them as a customer, we're not done with them there. So once they're a promoter, we want to continue to talk to them about upsell, cross-sell, referrals, be a promoter of our brand and social media. The things that you see in the middle of the goals here, so once we find a stranger who's attracted to the website, we use these tactics to get those strangers there. So optimize things, keyworded blogs, social media. Once they're a visitor, we use call to action buttons, forms, optimized landing pages to get them more interested in what we have to sell. So that's nurturing that lead with sales alerts, emails, CRM tactics, lead scoring, and then ultimately, again, that customer, we never want to let lose sight of the fact that we'd like to delight them as well. So, Andrea, you don't get to answer this. Okay. Neither do you, Dana. Where's the best place to hide a dead body? Page 2 of Google, because nobody ever goes there. That's a HubSpot joke, by the way. So if you really can't get to page 1, you're pretty much dead. Back in 2012, when InVerve Marketing started practicing inbound, it was very easy. You use keywords to build traffic in search engines. So Google did not block the names of visitors in HubSpot portals. If you came to our HubSpot portal, our marketing software, and you were available publicly, we knew that. It got scraped. It got put in your data list. That was 2012. Google actually invested millions and millions, several $100 million into HubSpot to help them be a better marketing tool, and then immediately took away visitors' names from the portals. Difficulty scores on keywords were very low in many of the business-to-business categories. We had tons of software and charter buses and schools and things like that you could do 5 or 6 blogs on a keyword and go from over 100 to page 1. 2012, building links helped you rank higher regardless of the quality of that domain. So you could just hire a link farm, get a bunch of backlinks, grab a bunch of traffic. The number of links back then was more important than your actual content. And then, of course, the first page of Google results were all text listings. So you had text listings. The top, there was 3 ads. Along the left side, there was more ads that nobody ever clicked on, and those went away. But that was a long time ago. Digital evolves. Before RankBrain, a few years ago, Google had a problem. 15% of the keywords that people typed were never seen before by Google in those orders. So 15% might not seem like a lot, but when you process billions of searches per day, it amounted to about 450 million keywords that stumped Google every single day. Before RankBrain, Google would scan pages to see if those pages contained those exact keywords that someone had searched for. But because these keywords were brand new, or brand new in that order, Google had no clue what the searcher actually wanted. So they guessed. And that's not necessarily good business practice. So for example, if somebody searched the most recent people, Google might not understand what that means. So what changed? Before, Google would try those exact words in your search query to find on a page. You'd remember the little highlighted yellow words, right? Mm-hmm. So today, RankBrain tries to actually figure out what you mean. So like a human would. How? By matching the never-before seen phrases to keywords that Google has seen before. So the most recent people might be recent issues, People magazine, and then might understand that what you're really looking for is the most recent People magazine. Today, Google knows what you're likely looking for. Let's search for Dwayne Johnson, for example. And on purpose, I spelled his name wrong. I happen to be a Dwayne Johnson fan. Instead of those 10 text results that we used to love so much as marketers that were so easy to rank on, Google is now serving up the most clicked on items that searchers want to see. So Google is showing the most. I didn't even put in this search up here anything about Dwayne Johnson. I just said his name. So Google's saying, well, if she wants to see something about Dwayne Johnson, she's most likely going to want to see what he looks like, what he's doing, his Wikipedia, his Twitter feed's down here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Mm-hmm. So it used to be that you did your keyword research, you create a content calendar, and then you blog and you blog and you blog. And high-quality content. So search engines need to present the best search result for the searcher, or they're going to go to a different search engine. If you don't like what Google's doing, you're going to go use Bing or Ask, right? So it's not just the result with the most optimized keyworded content. You can stuff keywords all day. Doesn't necessarily mean it's high-quality content. So what's changing? How do we optimize content without keyword ranking tools? What happens to our blogs and our white papers and our ebooks and our case studies? Even HubSpot is sunsetting the keyword tool in the portal. This was the anchor strategy piece in the HubSpot tool. So here's the answer. It's being replaced by the content strategy tool in HubSpot. And the new content model is called topic clusters. So, Google looks at your site architecture in terms of page rank. The more page rank your page has, the more likely it is to rank high in search results. Most sites look like this. You have a home page, and on that home page you have top level categories, top navigation. So your highest page rank is your home page, then your top nav, then your subpages. This is how your content is likely currently structured. You have your home page, and from your home page there is a place where you can click on the blog, and then from your blog you might have some categories in it, but it's just a whole bunch of content floating in space with no link back to any kind of main authority. So that's how we're set up right now. We're obviously restructuring our content, but there's our home page, there's our blog. We're a little bit ahead because we actually created our site with our main topics, so marketing, web, and creative. Those are the three big buckets that InVerve Marketing focuses on. So that's what our blog looks like, a whole bunch of blogs floating in space. The strategy has turned to topic clusters. You focus your efforts on more broad competitive keywords. Each broad keyword has a pillar page with a unique URL. This can be either a top nav page or a landing page. And the pillar page then links to supporting content. I'm going to show you more about that. Then your supporting content contains the broad keyword in the unique URL and links back to the pillar page. So let's take a look a little closer at what that looks like. In the topic cluster model, each grouping covers a single topic. You have one larger piece of content called a pillar that broadly outlines the topic. Each pillar has a unique URL that is the broad keyword. For example, this one we're going to focus on is lead generation. So right there, the little orange one. Content focused on that long tail keyword. So the pillar page may be 2,000 words. It may be gated, it may be ungated, it may be, and we're seeing very good results from pillar pages that have a download this content with no form to fill out. You can just simply download that pillar page as a PDF. Is lead generation. The content focus will be long tail keywords like this list here. So this is a top nav page called lead generation, and then you have a blog that links inside of that page called better call to action buttons in your lead generation best practices on building a contact form, how to use marketing automation to nurture a lead, what happens after a lead becomes a customer in your lead generation strategy. So you can take all of your content and in that 2,000 word or how many ever word pillar page, focus back into another piece of content on your site. So I'm going to say again, notice that all of the surrounding content uses the words in your broad keyword pillar / URL.
Might be a dumb question, but when you describe that, I'm thinking of a Wikipedia page where it has a link to something more specific that you could click on and go read more about.
Absolutely.
Is that
That's exactly what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Back to the pillar. So you have the pillar page. It's got a link out to a very specific piece of content. If you go there, you can come back to the big pillar because somebody might find the specific content and want a more broad look or in-depth look at the overall topic. So somebody finds, let's go back. So somebody finds what happens after a lead becomes a customer in your lead generation strategy. Maybe that's a blog. You want to get them back to your pillar page as well. So vice versa. That way, when one page performs well, the entire cluster gets a boost. Your own internal linking strategy. Topic clusters signal to Google that there's a semantic relationship between the content, that your site is an authority on the topic, and ultimately you deserve, it does. So just kind of a wrap up. What humans really respond to best is great content that is thoughtfully presented in a compelling web experience. Today, marketing is not really B2B or B2C. The best marketing is business to human. Humans do understand that when they go out and they look for something, they are going to get sold, they are going to get talked to by advertisers. So we're going to go to questions, but I wanted to also just talk very quickly about a couple of things that happened this year. I don't know how sophisticated the marketing group here is, so just wanted to end with some recent changes in digital. The content tool launches in HubSpot. We're going to see more of that on March 22nd when Andrea presents at the HubSpot user group how that content tool works, and it is super slick. You don't lose your content. It organizes it for you. You don't have to really sort through it all and do a new strategy. Also, from an SEO perspective, Google has publicly stated now that two websites which are otherwise equal in search results, if one has an SSL enabled, it may receive a slightly higher rank boost to outweigh the other. So this is the SSL. Right here, it's the secure. So it's HTTPS is what makes.
I read too that I think they are also going to, that normally for a suspicious site they'll Chrome will throw up a warning.
Yes.
I believe starting now, if we do secure license on it, it'll throw up that warning for any site.
Absolutely, yep. Additionally, up to 85% of people stated that they will not continue browsing if a site is not secure. According to a recent survey, that's HubSpot. So that's hot off the press. Also, although Google does not directly use meta descriptions for ranking purposes, when a meta description has a positive impact on your click-through rate, there's a secondary impact on ranking. I think I might have missed a page. No, I didn't. Okay. So in December, Google raised the allowed character limit for meta descriptions from 160 characters to 320 characters. As marketers, I would just caution everybody, don't use that opportunity to stuff a bunch of keywords. Try to do that business to human quality experience, quality content. So if more people are choosing your site, your content over one with a jumbled automated meta tag description, then RankBrain will reward you for a higher click-through rate and with better position in the SERP. So one more good reason for good quality meta descriptions. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
On the last topic, what is a meta description?
It's when it's on a page when it's how Google. Somebody else should answer this.
It's when you open up Google and you get result. It's the little text below it that says what that result will be.
Yeah.
There's an invisible tag. There's a tag in the header section of whatever document you're loading that the browser never sees it, but like Google will read it as it comes across. Like there's like meta keywords and like the description, a couple other ones like Facebook's Open Graph has a bunch that it uses so you can control like what image shows up on Facebook when someone shares one of your links.
So when you build a website, you can, in the back end, you can say this is the description of this page, and then Google will see that and serve that up. Or you could, some websites automatically generate a meta description. We had a website that their meta description, when we inherited it, was the first paragraph of a news story. So that was their overall business description, which is problematic because that's not what that company was. It was not a news story. It was actually a real company. So meta descriptions used to be really short. Now they got longer, and even more reason to pay attention to them.
I like to think of it as like, as a marketer, it's your opportunity to write a short piece of content to tell the searcher why they should choose you to click on rather than the other listings. Right. So it really is a piece of marketing there that's free but it's got to be, like Lisa just said, well written
You
and
got to get the why there. Why do I want to go to this page
Mhm.
as opposed
You
to the other?
bet.
So that, why should I go here?
For video, obviously Google likes YouTube, and you said that it can come up as a ideal link or whatever. Are you better off posting an embedded YouTube video onto a page like that, or to use your internal, or I guess, connecting the dots between having multiple versions of the same video online or trying to have just one version? Is there a difference that you found?
Can we take it?
Yeah.
I find that having a YouTube channel is always helpful because there are some platforms as far as social media goes that just won't let you upload native video. As far as a website, I've seen clients use both, but they often embed YouTube videos because it takes people back to a channel. People follow that. Again, you're more linking out to other things and connecting everything as one,
So
kind of expertise in your area.
Google understands that it embedded link and connects the two, but doesn't see it as a negative, obviously.
No. But you got to be careful that you don't send people out to a cat website, because if you haven't pressed the right buttons when you embed a Google link there, you will, the next autoplay will come up, and that might be something cats, and they'll leave your site to go look at cats. You got to really be careful when you're.
I often
considering
recommend people make playlists so that they have multiple videos of the same topic, and then when that autoplay does come up, it's autoplaying to the next of their video. It's not going to a random cat
Right. You
video.
can also put there's something at 0 or whatever, so it won't.
There are
suggest
settings
a
that
video.
yes.
If you have a client, we have clients that if you're a mattress store running a video, you don't want.
Yes. And there are
you can pull up
certain
the competitor's mattress.
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
there are certain design elements where I would say a native video to your website would look more professional and visually appealing. So I think it depends where it is, what it's on. It's kind of a situation by
There's no
situation.
one.
Correct.
It's part of the answer to that question is what's the strategy? If the strategy is to keep people on your site versus get lots of subscribers to your YouTube channel, then part of the answer, I would say.
I use both. YouTube, and I also have stuff that's hosted on Wistia that it doesn't go anywhere. It's just boom, and the really important videos I don't let people go. A little bit more fun videos.
And there's also an issue with the time it takes to load your page if you're embedding video, native video into your website. So there's an advantage of using YouTube for that because it'll load faster.
Obviously, bandwidth costs too. If you're paying for video bandwidth, it's a lot cheaper to let YouTube pay for it.
Yep.
Would it be a good idea with how you're talking about the hierarchy? We have a services page, and then on the services page breaks down different service categories, and then that goes to the subpages. So do you think breaking it out and putting like each service category instead of a general services page, having like a service, each category has its own top level link, and then use those as your pillar pages to link?
Yeah, I think that's a strategy decision. Again, obviously somebody is like, for us, for example, inbound marketing is too big of a broad keyword for us to probably really do a complete job on. We can do that and we can use that, but a pillar page just on email marketing is probably also worthy for a strategy consideration for us, because just email alone has, oh, by the way, 22 links and pieces of content is where they're thinking about the maximum is there, by the way, from a pillar, 22 links in and out. So it's really a strategy discussion about, your broad keywords, but then also what is available. If you do keyword research and you use tools, we use tools to see what's available out there that we can rank on. Is there a snippet available that we can rank on? Something like that. That might help you to inform your strategy as to, where you go with your content.
Depends on how much
pillars.
content you have also.
Mhm.
If you don't have enough content to fill out a pillar, you've got to either fill it in or combine them. So if you have, I had probably 300 blogs over, I was blogging twice a week, every week for 4 years. I had a lot of blogs. And the pillar really let me organize these and let the really good ones get found again, because, they just fall down and no one ever sees them again. And so it depends on your content. And the more have, the more different, more in-depth dives you can take into any particular topic.
Yeah, and if it's a case where your content is about you, that's going to be a little trickier than if it's about informing people about the entire topic. Just a little. People aren't probably going to want to read a 20-page brochure about your services until they're already a customer. Not that it's never relevant, but it's at the time that it's relevant, and will people search for it? So, yeah.
Just looking at broad strokes, is there some general things that you think apply more to startup businesses versus existing businesses as far as your approach to this methodology?
That is such a good question. We have somebody who's, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it or not.
Actually, a startup business is really, it's hard. It's really hard if you haven't been there. I mean, you've got a lot of work to do.
Content is the beast, always. In every website build, every content strategy, social media, case studies, those things are so important. And when you have nothing, you just got to get busy and either hire it done or get a whole bunch of content out there. I think if you don't have HubSpot and the HubSpot content tool, in a way it could be easier because you can decide on what those pillars are and then create for those pillars. If you've got 300 blogs, and we probably have, I don't know, 100 or more at least. I mean, we've been blogging since 2012. HubSpot they know what keywords we use to optimize content. They'll automatically organize that for us. So if I put lead generation in my content tool in HubSpot, it will pull a list of all blogs that are relevant to that pillar and organize them for me and tell me what I need to do to make those better to be a relevant piece of content. If you're starting out, the nice thing is you can make all those decisions. You can decide on a pillar page, decide on what those key pieces of content are going to be around it and how you want to approach them, and then just go. But it's also then a big, huge writing job. So
I would do video. I would if I start a new business, I'd do more video than writing because video is becoming king. The other thing.
Been king.
Huh?
Been king. Been king a long while, yeah.
But the other thing you can do instead of having, I have 18 pillar pages. You start with one. You start with 6 topics. Write 6 things. And then eventually you take each of those 6 topics and make those into a content, start little and then just keep filling them in and scoot them out.
One thing I was going to say is a strategy that I've taken is trying to find the community for my customers online and seeing what pain points they have and using
Pain points are good.
Yeah. If you start researching those pain points and find things that can be addressable in a blog post, I think you'll naturally get customers coming to your website. So that's a strategy I've taken lately.
Yeah, and so that's really a whole other big, really important topic, which is personas, understanding what are those conditions and triggers that people are going to respond to in terms of engaging with your business and starting down the path of seeing, is this someone I want to do business with?
No need to answer
really important.
That no one's asking.
Exactly. When I started blogging, I didn't look at keywords. I just said, I need to answer all the questions my customers have ever asked me. Every time anybody ever asked a question, we wrote it down. Every time somebody called and asked a question, we wrote it down. And that's how I started filling out my blogs by answering questions. That's the better place to start than with keywords for this industry are. Forget about that. Answer your customers' questions because that's what they need. And that's what you're going to build yourself as a solution.
Yeah, Andrea, built out her digital presence with the most authentic possible strategy. Talk to people. Be helpful. That's really the best place that you can be as a marketer today, because we can't trick the digital algorithm anymore. It just wants real high-quality content and a really good experience for customers. Somebody had their hand. Yeah.
You mentioned HubSpot's getting rid of their keyword tool, but would still using the AdSense keyword tool be of use?
Well, they're sunsetting it.
Oh, the AdSense one's going away too?
No, they're HubSpot is sunsetting. Yeah.
It's going to go away.
Isn't that a nice way to say it's going? That's all I'm saying. It's such a beautiful way to say something. Yes, it's going away. The content tools really has the keywords part of it in there. So they're sunsetting the traditional tool, but the content tool is still almost as helpful.
If you're answering questions that your customers have, you automatically have the right keywords. You know, that's exactly how I did it, because I really never looked at keywords, because it's like, I need to answer these questions first. And it really works.
Google we pay very close attention to it, still do. Alongside HubSpot, we do.
Pay attention to the Google keyword tool?
Yes.
Okay.
Additionally, we use other tools, paid tools that we subscribe to, that will tell us where the opportunities are to rank, to get seen, to be offered up. These are things that are just, they search Google, they say there's a hole here. You can plug that hole with a snippet. You can answer this question and get served up. So there's other ways to do this that are a little more marketer, stuff that kind of backdoor the authentic way to kind of get there. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yes, absolutely, we look at all kinds of tools when we use crazy amount of software.
I read a little snippet this morning that was really interesting. It said, when you're talking to your customers, they're not in a stadium with a whole bunch of other people. They're in there by themselves, so you really have to really do this one-on-one type of communication with them through your emails and stuff. So really focus on that one-on-one rather than trying to shout out to the world.
Really good advice if you're a startup.
Okay.
Is that everything? Thank you so much for coming today. I'm very happy to be here.
Lisa, thank you so much. That was fantastic.